we are going to be talking about Microsoft Paint overview. First, I want you to understand that Paint is a native program because it comes with the operating system, Windows operating system precisely. Paint is a drawing tool you can use to create simple or elaborate drawings, you understand? These drawings can be either black and white or colored and can be saved as bitmap files. You can print your drawings, use it for your desktop background, or paste it into another document. You can even use Paint to view and edit scanned photos. Now, the first thing you should understand is how to execute or open Paint program. You can do that by going to the Start button, locate your programs, then you go straight and look for your Paint program. You go directly to Paint. You search through till you get to MS Paint. Alright, let's see what we have here. The files on my system are too much, so we can easily go back and check for what we are looking for. There is another shorter way to get through to it, but normally once you get to the Start button, you go to your programs. If you're making use of a lesser version of Windows, you can go through the accessories, then you now get your MS Paint. But on other advanced Windows application, you just get it directly and trace the Paint program, click on it, and it will be executed. But in a situation of this manner where you don't see the program you're searching for, the next thing you are to do is just click on Run. Now you type MS Paint, no space, and press your enter. Paint comes up like this. You can still right click here on your start menu and still use the Run here, or you can press Windows R. That is a combination of the key, the Windows key and the R key, to get to the Run, to be able to display the Paint program. Now, when you display the Paint program, there are things which you need to work with in Paint. We have the Select. The Select is used to make a choice of the areas you want to highlight in a particular object. You can also choose to resize. When you talk about resizing in the sense that, now let's give an instance. You might have a passport photograph that the size is exceeding to be uploaded to the internet. Using this area, you can compress the size, you can reduce the size of the image without shrinking it and without making it less, having less quality. we are going to still do all these things, but first and foremost we're just going to be introducing them to you one after the other. Now, if we also have this, the eraser tool used to erase some portion of your drawing. Maybe you drew something, you can choose to erase where necessary. That is the work of the eraser in Paint. Now, you can use the fill, which will help you fill an object with color. Then you can use the color picker to pick a particular color which you want to work with, to paste it in any particular area you choose to. Then we'll have the text, which is used to write on an image you want to create, or even write directly on Paint. For instance, you can choose to write "My computer is great." Now you see you have these options. You can still do some editing on it, change the font, but it is advisable that before you start working on any text, make sure you've applied the font you want. Now, just like other applications, you can reduce the size, you can increase the size to anything you want. You can choose to make it bigger. Or you can make it an opaque object or a transparent object. Opaque in the sense that you can't see through it, you can't see any object behind it through it. And you can change the colors of the text as well. So these are part of the things you are going to be looking at. Now, let's take for instance, you want to select an image or a picture. Let's just say we have a picture. Let's just draw something. We have something like us. Okay. Then you want to select the object. Click on select. This object here, you click on it, then you drag through the place you want it to be. Then you will be able to move it from one angle to another, depending on where you want to position it. Now, another thing is, having drawn this object, you can easily erase any part of the object you don't want. You go to the eraser, you can start erasing. You can keep erasing it this way. Anywhere you don't want, you erase it. So this is how you erase in Paint. Then, to magnify an object, You can still change the color of this object to anything you want. Alright, basically you notice that it is not being taking any color again. Why? Because the object is open. The object is open now. So let's see and try it again. Let's choose a color. The object is still open because of the part which we erased. So you can also magnify the object. What we mean by magnifying, you can zoom an object, which the tool is here. We use the magnifier to increase the size of your object. Let's say we can use this from here so that we'll be able to see it clearly, because it is still the same thing as what we are doing with this. Another area we are going to look into is to copy color from one area of an object to another. Now, in the toolbox, what you do is you click the pick color. When you click on the pick color, you click the area containing the color you want to make use of. It picks the color. Then the color you want to copy will be selected. In the toolbox again, click on that fill. This is the fill with color. Then once you select it, then you click on the object you want to, and the color will be applied to it. You see it? So that is how to put a color from another stuff. You can still go ahead to, let's delete this. Let's just delete this. Let's hit our delete button on the keyboard to delete. I will still have to delete because it wasn't in the plain form. Alright, so now that we've deleted it, we can decide to use the pencil to draw. If you know how to draw very well, you can use the pencil to make sketches just like your normal sketch. For instance, I'm not that good at drawing with this, but we'll try. You can make it more sensible. Then we can do anything you want with it. It is just, what did I do? Okay, that color I picked is still ravaging everything. So let's put this color. This color. Oh, yeah, because I actually, let's press Ctrl Z to get it off. Now let's just do something tangible. Let's assume I want to make a drawing. Anytime you finish work, you have to go back to make your color back to white. Okay, so let's just say we draw something. You can make something more creative. You can just make something more creative. Let's see. Let's make something more creative. We have this. Okay. Let's band it and get something like this. You can make something more beautiful. Let's still lift it up. Then we make it look like this. We keep drawing. We can easily go ahead okay, let's do something like this before I do what I'm trying to do. This might just indicate the strikes of thunder. Let's do, okay, let me use this as the cloud. I'll use this as a cloud. As the cloud over and over. Okay. And let's say okay, let's make something like this. Okay, something I wanted to do, I know we can't, I just found out we can't do it in paint, but the little we can do in paint, we can just do something like this. Then we easily copy that. Let's just say we make another one. Alright, then you can apply your colors to wherever you want it to be. Crazy though, just doing something, then probably something like this comes up, and you can just make something creative. You can even make something look more creative than mine. So this, you can easily do more things. Then you can decide to use the paintbrush. You can just go back to this place and choose the paintbrush. You make your choices of any paintbrush you want. For instance, let's just assume I want to do some crazy painting on it. Just like that, just do something. So that is how you use the paint brush. Now you can increase the outline of whatever you want to draw to be bolder. Depending on how you intend to do it. What you're going to do now is to type and format a text. So the first thing you're going to do is you type a text just like we did initially, and you can type anything of your choice, and you can choose to format it just like I showed you earlier on. But first and foremost, you must highlight it, Ctrl A on the keyboard. Then you choose the format you want to change it to. So if you want to draw curved lines like I showed you earlier on, you can still do the same thing by using any of the curve. You leave it, point to where you want it. You leave it again, point to another place if you wish. Then it will come up the way you want it. So these are different basic shapes that you can work with in paint. So depending on how creative you are, you can make use of this to make something more creative. Just like we did here, we drew this, you can use the same process to get it done. Now after you might have done everything you want to do, you now come to this point, click on file, say I want to save it. You give it a name, let's say tests. Then you change the format. Normally you can change to bitmap, you can change to JPEG, depending on what you want to use it for. So let's say I want to use my JPEG, I can save it if I want to, but I don't want to. Likewise, the same way you can go through to open a file you want to work with. If, assuming you designed the file already, you can come through this place to open it. I have one of my students designed. Do I really want to get off this? Don't save. His work comes in. Then I can still go back to the open again and check if I have any other file. I think I should have a file. Then once I open it, let's change the view, KZ, open it, it will open. So these are different files you can open. Now, as this object is, you can resize it like I said. Let's make it more meaningful now. For instance, you have a passport, they say you should change it by 2 by 2 or any size. You just come here. Just let's assume this image we have here is a passport. So what you do is just maybe you want to reduce it by 50. When it says maintain aspect ratio, it means anything I'm doing here equals what is happening here. But if I don't want it that way, I can make it this way so that I will be 60 and here will be 50. So at maintaining aspect ratio make me 50-50. Then you click OK. It gets reduced. You can screw your object by slanting it. Maybe let's say we slant you by 10 and slant the other one by 10. You see it gets your object slanted. You can as well rotate your object to any point you want to. You can flip it. You can flip it vertically. So you can as well copy and paste your object in Paint. You can choose your fill effect, the way you want to fill your object. So that is how you work with the Paint. And after you're done with everything you're doing, you can easily go to the file and click on exit. I'll say don't save.